Okay guys, hi, so I'm here with my Pretty Little Liars, my first Pretty Little Liars review and thoughts, and this one is on the Halloween episode. Their new season, or not their new season, but the rest of their season 3, because they had a mid-season cut, they've been having those, doesn't come back until January, which sucks because this episode was phenomenal. I am not even going to lie to you guys. I watched it twice already, and I'm going to watch it one more time just to make sure because it was actually really good, and plus I already caught up and I was so used to watching them like 4 episodes at a time, so I just feel like I have to rewatch this one. So I'm going to ruin some stuff for you, so if you haven't seen the episodes and you don't want any spoilers or anything, you probably shouldn't watch this video. But the Halloween episode was just great. It was great. I loved their last year's Halloween episode with Allison in it. That was so cool. And this one was just like 10 times better. I loved it. So the plot of this story, they went on a ghost train, which is like an elaborate party that they go on. Like, what high school has these elaborate parties? I mean, I want to go to a high school where people have parties on trains. Like, I want to do that. That just sounds fun. But they're going on this ghost train. They all dressed up. My favorite was Spencer. I thought Spencer looked really great in her costume. But I was so mad because at the ending of the last season, or not the last season, the last episode, it showed Toby as one of like the A-team. So when I saw Toby, I was like, why? I was like, why are you there? So at the beginning, Mona is painting a mask, and that was creepy. Mona creeps me out. Like, ever since we found out Mona was one of the part of the A-team, she creeps me out. Like, the asylum freaks me out. I don't like her in there. It creeps me out. So she's painting this mask and she's talking to somebody, and you turn around and you see it's somebody in a hood. I'm just going to go ahead and assume it's Toby, but I mean, I have other assumptions. You'll hear those soon. Cut, whatever, and then it goes to the girls walking, talking about the ghost train and whatnot, and then it goes to the cool Pretty Little Liars, like Halloween stuff, like how the Pretty Little Liars, like, credits are just normal, like, on every day, but the Halloween one is sick. It's just really cool. They paint their nails, like, bloody and stuff. I don't know, I think it's cool. So anyway, they get on the train, whatever, I'm just going to skip ahead. Or no, I'm not going to skip ahead. Garrett tries to talk to Spencer, Toby interjects, and something tells me Toby's interjecting because he doesn't want Garrett to tell Spencer something. So I'm just gonna assume something later. I don't know. I have a lot of assumptions, and I don't know. Like, so many things are in my head. They get on the ghost train. We'll start with the ghost train. Noel and Jenna are there. I literally cannot stand Noel and Jenna, especially Noel. Like, he is so annoying. If it wasn't for his beautiful eyes, I would absolutely hate him because he drives me crazy. Oh, and another thing, Caleb's good. Caleb's good, which makes me happy. I'm glad they didn't kill off Caleb because Caleb's my favorite and I want to fall in love with Caleb. He is gorgeous. So I'm glad they didn't kill off Caleb because I love Caleb. So anyway, so they get on the ghost train. Now I'm back to where I want to be. They get on the ghost train, and I don't know, it's always when they're together somewhere that stuff starts happening. Shit starts popping off. And I mean, it's just ridiculous. So they're on this ghost train, and I'm trying to remember what happened because I didn't write notes. I watched this 2 times and I don't even remember. Stuff starts happening. Let's just get to that. Things start happening. The first thing is that Adam Lambert talks to Aria, which has me a little like he's like, oh, what's your name? Like, what type of musical star is gonna come up to some random girl sitting on a bus or a train, like, what's your name? And then she has to write it, and she writes it on the like foggy train window, and it says Aria. And then you see like this creepy ass costume. Like, excuse my language, I'm probably gonna curse a lot in this video. This creepy costume of some, ugh. It was creepy. It was creepy. So, you see it like staring at them, and then Aria has a drink, and you see it like flick open. It's like ring, and inside there's like drugs. And at the beginning it showed Mona giving somebody drugs, so I'm presuming that was what she gave this person. So okay, so then Aria looks away. This person comes and like dumps the medicine into her drink, or the drugs into her drink, and then she drinks it, and then she goes missing, basically. So she goes missing, and then at this point when she's gone missing, Spencer runs into Garrett. No. First, you see Spencer going to talk to Toby, but Jason interrupts her, and then Jason sees Lucas go somewhere, so Jason follows Lucas, which has me a little bit suspicious. Then Spencer talks to Garrett. Garrett scares her in the freaky costume from last Halloween's episode. Garrett, like, that whole part when she like turned around, he was right there, I like stopped. I was like, whoa, that was really scary. So they go to like the in-between part, like when you're walking between whatever those are called, train things, I don't know, cabooses, no, cabins, I don't know. Anyway, so they're sitting there, and Garrett tells her the story of what he knows about Allison the night that she disappeared. So he goes into his description of how they are all in the room, Allison's room, and him and Jenna leave the room and leave Ian and Melissa up there, and they go and Allison like gets them in the backyard. And when Allison and Jenna like start fighting, like Jenna's blind, so fighting to Jenna's like, where are you? I don't know where you are. And it was really stupid. Like that whole like scene was so dumb. And then Jenna picks up like a field hockey stick and she goes to swing it at Allison, and we know the field hockey stick was one of like the evidence of how like Allison got killed. And then Garrett says no, whatever, grabs it from her, pulls it up like this, and then he starts like hitting Allison, and it sounds like he's hitting her, but then like we think, oh my god, he just killed her. And then like the camera zooms down, Allison's like sitting on the ground, she's like shh, shh, and then Jenna's like, did you kill her? Did you kill her? And Garrett's like, I took care of it. And then they walk off. So Jenna thinks that Allison's dead, but Allison's still alive. Garrett comes back. This is going to be a long video. Garrett comes back and he sees Allison talking to somebody, and then the camera like zooms in on the person. It's freaking Aria's dad. That was like a whole like game changer. I was like, why is she talking to Aria's dad? So then Garrett leaves, and that's all that Garrett knows. So Spencer says, wait here, I want you to tell this to Aria's face. So they all go look for Aria, but they can't. They find Aria's like purse on her seat, and then the sign where she had written Aria on the foggy window was erased of the RIA, and it just said A. And then they heard her phone go off, and they checked it, and it said like something like she's not gonna make it or something, A. And they were like, oh god, it's happening again. And it's like, duh, it's happening again. Like, who are you, the Pretty Little Liars? And then so it's like a big massive search for Aria now. So trying to find out where Aria is. Spencer gets choked out by that creepy thing, that like creepy costume that tried to get Aria. Like it starts to choke her, and it's like a really tall person. Like it's a very tall person. It tries to choke Spencer out, but Paige saves her, which is awesome. And then they see that one of the fingernails, like the red claw nails, was like ripped off, and it's like a press-on. Like, who uses press-ons? And they were like, it's too big to be a girl's, and like so we're all like, oh, it's a guy's nail. And then yeah, they all start searching for Aria, and then it like shows Aria, and she's in like a wooden box, and she's like duct taped, and she's like shaking it, and it like falls over, and then she's like shaking it and stuff. Then it pans back, they're still looking for her. By the way, Caleb's on this train too, dressed up as a guy in an opera suit. And when Hannah goes to tell Caleb, but she doesn't know it's Caleb because it's got the opera suit on, she's like, hey, you know, Garrett needs to talk to Aria, we can't find Aria. And the opera suit like hugs her the way Caleb would, but you know it's not Caleb because you can't see his hair. So I was like, dude, don't, what are you doing? No. And she like, she knows it's not Caleb. She like turns around, or no, she like turns around, she actually sees Caleb like across the cabin or something like that. And then she's like, what? So she turns around, she rips off the mask, and there's another mask underneath it. It's a double mask. Double mask, woo! Okay, so double mask done. Then she like, no, and then like at that point we know that one of the people on the A team knows that they talked to Garrett. So something happens. No one knows. Okay, so I think this happened before Aria, but sorry guys. I'm going out of order. Then they're on a massive search for Aria. Pans back to Aria. She's tipped over the box. She's gotten the tape off of her mouth, and she sees like a jagged thing sticking out of the top. So she has her hands up there, and she's like trying to get the tape off like that. And then like something happens, and she like turns, and this is the creepiest thing that's ever happened on Pretty Little Liars. I'm gonna be straight up with you. Garrett's dead body was laying next to her, and I was just like, like that was freaky as hell. I mean, Lucy Hale's acting during that wasn't as on par as it should have been. Like, I would have been crying. Like, get me out of here. But that was creepy. That was really creepy. So then you hear two voices. You hear a woman's and a man's. Wish I would know who they were, but I can't tell. and they're pushing the box. And you see the train car door open. They are pushing the box. The box is like tipping on the edge of the train door, and they leave, and then the 3 other girls, Spencer, Hannah, and Emily, come in and like get the box out, and they get Aria out, and then they see Garrett's dead body, and they're all like, ah! It's just weird. So they get her out, and then the train stops, and the police, and then like the next thing you see is the police are talking to everybody, and like everybody in the train car, it's a car, that are getting like questioned, or all the people that like are like the main characters in the show. So Aria comes back, she's okay, everybody's just kind of like, oh my god, what happened? Ezra comes running in, which was surprising because Ezra said at the beginning of the episode he couldn't make it to the ghost train because he had like an interview or something. So he comes running in and he's like, I heard something bad happened, and like Aria comes up and hugs him, and he was like, I heard somebody was hurt, blah 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 blah. And then like he looks up and he looks like really shocked. I don't want to think that Ezra is a part of the A-Team because he doesn't really have anything against Allison unless there's something the show's not telling us. But I don't know, he just seemed kind of suspicious. I like Ezra though, so I'm not going to say anything. And then Noel says something like rude, and Toby tries to fight him. He pushes Noel onto the like ice, the cooler that has all the ice and the drinks in it, and the cooler tips. And this part was weird too, and like Allison's or whatever body comes like slowly coming out, and like it's not like the body, it's in like the actual like funeral home zip up case, like dress case, I don't know. And Jason looks at it, and Jason's like, and I was just like, ooh, that's kind of weird. So I don't know. Oh, also, and there was like a little creepy girl that I think this whole like part of the creepy girl, like the ghost girl, could have been completely cut. I mean, I know for people that have read the books, they're like, oh, that's Allison's sister that died. But like, for people that watch the show, we're just like, that part could have been cut because it was kind of just there to fill up the space. So my assumptions about A. Oh, and then at the very end, at the very end, Mona is like back in her crazy bed, and she looks down, and the mask, like the double mask of the second one, is on the ground. So, I mean, it leads us to believe that that was Mona. But at the same time, I don't know. So, sorry, that was really awkward. So, to sum up this, I know, obviously we know Mona's a part of the A-Team. I mean, the obvious, Jenna, Garrett, Noel, Ian, Melissa. But nobody knows where Ian and Melissa are, or Melissa is, because Ian's dead, and now Garrett's dead. So the other person part of the NAT club is Jason. So that's just crazy. I don't want Jason to die. He's cute. that's my issues. I don't want Jason to die. He's cute. But Toby, Ezra, Aria. No, I'm just kidding. Because Aria, I had my suspicions about Aria, but now I'm just kind of like, that was gross. Why would she put herself in a box with a dead body? Like, why would she do that? So that was it for the episode. I hope you guys enjoy. Comes back in January, so back then you'll see more Pretty Little Liars stuff. And yeah, bye guys.